Find a seated position on your mat. You can sit cross-legged, or you can sit on your knees. Any comfortable position is fine. As we begin our little breathing practice that we will do today at the beginning of practice. If your eyes haven't closed down, allow that to happen now. And with the eyes closed, bring your attention to your breath flowing in and flowing out. Feel the inhale and feel the exhale. Do that 3 or 4 times, just following the breath as it flows in. And then follow the breath at the end of the inhale and notice as it becomes an exhale and let the breath flow out. About 3 more times like that. Just following the flowing breath, inhaling and exhaling. Keep it going about twice more. And one more time, following the breath flowing in and flowing out. Now let the breath flow in, keep your eyes closed, and notice that point at which the inhale stops and then becomes an exhale. Follow that about 3 times, noticing the breath flowing in. Then there's almost a suspension of the inhale and a moment or 2 until it becomes an exhale. Follow that one more time. Now inhale, and at the end of the inhale, hold the breath in, retain it in for 2 counts. And then allow the exhale to occur. Do that again, breathing in. Retain the breath in for 2 counts, bringing awareness to that point at which the breath turns, and then exhale. And one more time like that, breathing in. Retain the breath in 2 counts, and then exhale and let it go. This time we're going to bring awareness to the space between the exhale and the next inhale. So inhale. Feel the breath turn in the body and become an exhale. Now hold the breath out for 2 counts after the exhale. And then allow an inhale to occur. Now just exhale. Again, hold the breath out 2 counts, bringing awareness to the space between the exhale and the next inhale. Now exhale and hold the breath out again here, 2 counts. And an inhale. Now we're going to combine those 2. So we're going to inhale, retain the breath in for 2 counts. Exhale, hold the breath out for 2 counts, and then begin the next inhale. We'll do that a total of 3 times. Go ahead and begin that now. Inhaling. Hold the breath in 2 counts. 1, 2, and exhale. Now hold the breath out for 2 counts. And now inhale. The breath is retained for 2 counts. And then exhale. Hold the breath out 2 counts. Inhale. The breath is retained again for 2 counts. And then exhale. Hold the breath out, 2 counts. And then the next inhale. Just continue with that pattern 3 more times on your own. Breathing in and retaining the breath for 2 counts, and breathing out, holding the breath out for 2 counts. Try and keep your eyes closed, just gently. So that you can better feel the flow of the breath. And one more cycle through. And then just let it go. Let go of the breath practice. Let your breath return to its normal rhythm. Just feel your body settling into that normal rhythm after the effort of shaping the breath. Now allow your eyes to gently open. Let your arms float up and overhead. Bring the palms together. Then bend the elbows. Bring the thumbs to the back of the head. Lift your elbows and your chin. Press your chest up towards the sky. As you exhale, release the hands. Reach them high. Interlace the fingers, invert the palms, and stretch the palms up towards the sky. Press down on your sitting bones. Try and keep your chin level. Reach up. Now, keep the fingers interlaced, pressing through the palms, but bring the arms down so that you're pressing the palms forward in front of you. And then inhale and reach back up. Exhale and bring it down. We're going to do that twice more. Inhale and reach back up, pressing through the palms. And one more time. And inhale, reach back up, press the palms high, then release the arms. Bring the right hand down, reach the left hand up and over. We're going to stretch the left side body. On an inhale, rise back up. The core engages a little bit. Bend the left elbow as you bring the left hand to the mat. Reach with the right hand and press that right hip a little bit to the right to help you better stretch the right side body. On an inhale, rise back up. We'll do that one more time on each side. Right hand comes down, bend the right elbow. Check in with that left elbow. Make sure the left elbow is over the left shoulder as much as you can. And the left sitting bone is heavy. On an inhale, rise back up. Core stays engaged. Left hand down. Right hand reaching. Press that right hip to the right a little bit. That'll help you create a little bit bigger stretch on the right side of the body. Now engage your core as you come up. Reach the arms high. And exhale the hands to heart center. On an inhale, reach back up, then bring the arms out to about a 45-degree angle. Now lift your chin, reach the hands up and back, press your chest towards the sky. Now open the arms a little bit more. Then as you exhale, hug yourself. Bring the right hand to the left shoulder, the left hand to the right shoulder. Bring your chin to your chest and round your spine. And bring the forehead down towards the mat. On an inhale, open it all up. Reach up and out. And exhale and bring it down, hugging yourself deeply. Do that 3 more times. Inhale and up. Reaching out, looking up. And exhale and down. On an inhale, take a big deep breath. Reach up. And exhale and down. Let's do that one more time. On an inhale, reach back up. And exhale, give yourself a big hug and round the spine. Bring the forehead down. And on an inhale, slowly rise. Release the hands down to the knees, palms facing down. Straighten the elbows as much as you can. Spine nice and long. Just breathe. You can let your eyes close if you're comfortable doing that. Relax the shoulders. And just feel the breath flowing in and flowing out with awareness of the inhale, the space between the inhale and the exhale, and awareness of the exhale and the space between the exhale and the next inhale. Now relax the shoulders even more. Actually, let's do this. Shrug the shoulders up towards the ears. And then exhale, let it go. Do that again. Shrugging shoulders up towards ears. And let it go. One more time. Shrug the shoulders higher. And let it go. Now let your right ear move towards your right shoulder, and we'll just stretch the left side of the neck a little bit. Now very, very slowly, bring your gaze down towards the right knee. So you're rotating the neck. And notice how that changes the way the stretch feels on the left side of the neck. Lift your chin back up to where we started so that you're looking forward, and then slowly lift the head all the way back up. Now over to the other side. Left ear towards left shoulder. Relax the right shoulder a bit so you feel that stretch on the right side of the neck. And now slowly let your gaze come down towards the left knee. Notice how that changes the way the stretch feels in the neck. And then slowly lift the chin back up to where we started on this side. And then let the head come all the way back to center. Bring the arms out to a T. Let's take a twist to the right side. Right hand down behind you, left hand to right knee. Look over your right shoulder. Breathe in deeply. As you breathe in, let the breath help you lengthen your spine. So you feel the spine getting longer as you're breathing in. Draw the navel in, which will also help you twist and lengthen the spine at the same time. Now let it go. Flow directly over to the other side. Right hand comes to left knee, left hand down behind you. As you breathe in, draw the navel in, pull the navel to the left, and look over the left shoulder. Do that again, breathing in deeply, feeling the spine getting longer. You may have a sensation of the ears rising up, reaching towards the sky. Keep your chin level. One more breath on this side. And let it go. Just bring it all the way back to center. Now, straighten the left leg and bring it out so that there's about a 90-degree angle between your thighs. So the left leg is straight, toes are pointing up. What I'd like you to do is bring both hands to the shin of that left leg. Now hinge at the hips and fold forward, trying to keep the spine long. So try not to round the spine much. Now slowly walk the hands around to the right side, keeping the left sitting bone on the mat. Now your upper body is pretty much aligned with that right thigh. Now bring your chin to your chest, walk the hands back towards your body, and rise all the way back up. We're going to do that again. Reach forward with the whole body, or the whole upper body. Feel that stretch in the back of the legs, the hamstrings, the gluteal muscles. Now slowly walk the hands over to the right side. And once you're there, chin on chest, round the spine, draw your navel in and come up. One more time on this side, reaching out to the left side, walking the hands over to the right. Now the shoulders are level, chin on chest, round the spine, and rise. Take a deep breath and let it go. Let's find the other side now. Bring the sole of the left foot in towards the right thigh, straighten the right leg, toes point up on the right leg. Now align your upper body so the shoulders are square to the extended right leg. Hinge at the hips and fold forward, feeling that great stretch in the back of the right leg. Walk the hands around to the left side this time. Check in with your shoulders. Make sure that right shoulder is level with the left. Now chin on chest, round the spine, draw the navel in as you come up. Again, out to the right side, feeling the stretch, walking the hands around to the left side. Chin on chest now, round the spine and rise. One more time like that. Over to the right side, nice and long. Slowly walk around to the left side. Keep the spine long for a moment here. Check in with that right shoulder. Bring it down so it's level. Now chin on chest, rounding the spine as you rise. Bring both legs out and then roll over the knees. Let's find table pose. Now inhale to cow, dropping your belly, lifting your chin, reaching your tailbone away from your knees. And then exhale to cat pose, drawing your navel in towards your spine and pressing your hands into the mat. Let your head drop down. Inhale to cow. Take a big deep breath. And exhale to cat. 3 more times on your own. Inhaling to cow. And exhaling to cat. Keep it going, inhaling to cow pose and exhaling to cat. Twice more. Inhale to cow and exhale to cat. And one more time. Inhale to cow. Drop the belly a little more. Lift the chin a little higher so you feel that stretch in the abdomen. Then exhale to cat, pressing your hands into the mat. Now come back to a neutral spine. Walk your hands forward about one hand length. Keep your hips over your heels to begin. Now press into the hands, press back towards child's pose. Feel the nice stretch in the back. I feel that in the low back as well as the shoulders and the armpits. On an inhale, rise back up, lifting your navel towards your spine. Glide the hips forward and down. Lift the chin as we come into a knees down, upward facing dog. Now press into the hands. Press back again towards child's pose. This is a dynamic version of cat and cow. Inhale, rising back up through table pose. Glide the hips forward and down. Lift the chin. And exhale, press back towards child's pose. This can be the last one. On an inhale, rise back up through table pose. Glide the hips forward and down. Press the hands into the mat. Let your ears rise up. Press the heart and the navel forward. We're going to pause here 2 more breaths. Breathe in. A full and complete cycle of breath. Now back to table pose. Pause for a moment in table pose. Walk the hands back so they're under the shoulders. Now reach your right hand up. We're going to thread the needle. Bring the right hand under and through. Land on the right shoulder. And reach the left hand forward. Open the left shoulder up towards the sky. Check in with your hips and make sure that the hips are level and square to the front of the mat as best you can. Now reach with that left hand a little bit more. This creates a nice twist in the spine. One more breath. Good. Now slide that left hand back down in front of the face. Press into the left palm. Reach the right hand high. And then bring the right hand down to where we began in table pose. Press the right palm into the mat. You can actually center that right hand a little bit so it's right below the face. Reach the left hand up. Stretch it high. And then bring the left hand under and through. Land on the left shoulder. Let your left head come down so your head, the left ear come down, and then reach the right hand forward, opening the right shoulder up towards the sky. Again, check in with the hips. Do your best to level and square them all. Reach a little bit more with that right hand. Feel the twist in the spine. And then slide that right hand back down in front of your face. Press into the right palm. Reach the left hand high. And then bring it back down. Back to table pose. Now tuck your toes and lift your hips, finding our very first downward facing dog. We're going to be here for 3 breaths. Feel the inhale, the space between the inhale and the exhale. Then feel the exhale and the space between the exhale and the next inhale. 2 more breaths like that. Pressing the palms into the mat, reaching the tailbone up and back. Bend the knees a little bit if your hamstrings feel tight. And 1 more breath. Good work, everybody. On an inhale, reach your right leg high, and then step the right foot all the way forward so it comes between the hands. Step the left foot forward so it meets the right foot into a standing forward fold, and let your head drop down. Now bring your arms out to a T. Bring the weight into the front of the feet so your heels begin to float. Press into the front of the feet and rise with a nice long spine. Reach the arms up and overhead. And then exhale the hands to heart center. Press the palms together. On an inhale, reach back up. Interlace the fingers. Point the index fingers. Let's find Arrow Mudra. Stretch up nice and high. Feet about hip width apart. Now bend to the right, pressing the hips to the left. Stretch it out. Most of the weight's in your left foot. On an inhale, rise back up. And to the other side, press the hips to the right, reach to the left, point the index fingers to the left. Most of the weight in the right foot. Inhale, rise back up. Keep the core engaged through the whole movement. Again, hips pressed to the left, reaching to the right. 1 more time, rising back up and reach to the left. Stretch it out. Inhale, reach high. And then exhale the hands to heart center. Take a breath. On an inhale, reach back up. Keep the biceps on either side of the ears as you hinge at the hips. Fold forward and slowly bring the hands all the way down to the mat. Now step your left foot back. With the right foot about between the hands and about a 90-degree angle in that right knee, press back on the left heel. So you feel a nice stretch in the back of the left leg, maybe even to the back of the left knee for those of you who need a little knee stretch, maybe because you went bicycling a lot yesterday. Now pick that right foot up and step it all the way back into plank pose. Take a breath. Now lift the hips high into downward facing dog. On an inhale, left leg rises. Lift the left leg high as you press down on the right heel. And then step the left foot forward so it ends up between the hands. Press back on the right heel. So you feel the stretch now coming into the back of the right leg, maybe even into the back of that right knee. Now step the right foot forward into a standing forward fold. Let your head drop down. Bring the weight into the front of the feet. Now press into the front of the feet and rise slowly, reaching the arms up and overhead. And exhale your hands to heart center. Let your eyes close down and take 2 breaths. Breathing in and out. Feel the complete cycle of breath, just like at the very beginning of practice. And one more. Now reach the arms high. Hinge at the hips and fold forward. Come halfway down. And then all the way down. Bring the hands down to the mat. Step the left foot back. Check in with that right foot. Make sure that it's between the hands so you have a nice long runner's lunge. Then from there, bring your left knee down to the mat. You can untuck the toes in the left foot if you want. Press into the right foot and rise up into a low crescent lunge, reaching the arms high. Relax the hands so there's not a lot of energy in the fingers or the thumbs. Press the right knee forward a little bit more. And do you begin to feel that stretch at the top of the left leg? Also probably in the hip on the right side. One more breath. Now bring the hands down. So the hands come down on either side of that right foot. Tuck the toes and bring the left knee off the mat. Right foot steps back now to plank pose. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, bring your knees to the mat. Chest and chin follow, inchworming your way into cobra pose. Lifting your heart up off the mat in cobra pose. One more breath here. And then release all the way down. Now tuck your toes, push to plank. Let's do that a second time, a push-up. Elbows reach back, not out, and push back up. If you want to do that a couple more times, feel free to do that. Nice little strength move for the triceps and the shoulders. Now plank pose and lift your hips high, downward facing dog. Stretch it out. One more big breath. On an inhale, left leg rises. Lift it up nice and high as you press the right heel down. Now step the left foot forward so it ends up between the hands. Press back on the right heel. Now bring the right knee to the mat. Reach the arms up and overhead as we come into our low crescent lunge. Anjaneyasana is the name of this pose in Sanskrit. Press forward on that left knee. And can you feel the stretch at the top of the right leg? The more you press the left knee forward, and the more you reach up through the hands, the deeper the sensations become on that right leg, as well as the hip probably on the left side. That's it. Bring the hands down. Tuck the toes. Step the right foot forward, forward fold. Let your head drop down. Take opposite elbows now and press the elbows down towards the big toes, lengthening the upper body. See if you can bring the weight forward so there's more weight in the front of the feet than in the heels. Now press into the front of the feet and slowly rise. Keep opposite elbows as you come up. Then reach the elbows high and then up and back as you bend the knees. Find a little bit of a back bend. Inhale, rise back up, reach up high with the elbows, then release. Bring the hands to heart center and press the palms together. Take a breath. And one more. Now hinge at the hips and fold forward. And bring the hands all the way down to the mat. Now step the left foot back. Bring the left knee to the mat, untuck the toes, reach the arms up and overhead as we come into our second low crescent lunge on this side. This time bring the arms out to a T, then take a twist to the right, bring the left elbow to the right knee, bring your palms together, and come into a prayer twist. Keep pressing into that right foot. Work on stacking the right elbow over the palms, and the palms over the left elbow. This is also creating a nice spinal twist. One more breath. Keep the hands together, come back to center, press the palms together. Now release the hands behind you, interlace the fingers. Press the knuckles towards that left heel. As you bring your shoulder blades together, lift your chin. Now breathe. One more breath. Release the hands, reach them high, and then down on either side of the right foot. Toes tuck as the left knee comes off the mat. Step the right foot back to plank pose. Press your hands into the mat. Now cobra pose, knees to the mat, chest and chin follows, inchworm your way into Bhujangasana, cobra pose. Press your pubic bone down so that you're creating a bend in the back, letting your ears rise up. Breathe. 2 more breaths in cobra pose. And 1 more. Now release down, tuck your toes, push to plank, and lift your hips, downward facing dog. Heels are pressing down towards the mat. Your heels may be landing on the mat, they may not. On an inhale, reach your, I guess we need to do the left leg high. I almost got the wrong leg. Press the right heel down, and then step the left foot forward so it ends up between the hands. Bring the right knee to the mat, untuck the toes on the right foot, press into the left foot and come up into low crescent lunge. Second time on this side, fourth one overall. Reach up high with the hands, press the left knee forward, arms come out to a T. Take your twist to the left, palms facing to the left. Now bend the right elbow, bring it to the knee and join the palms into a prayer twist. Reach the left elbow high. Head is reaching forward, but staying in a neutral position. 1 more breath. Good, now keep the hands together as you come back to center, press into that left foot, reach the arms high, and the hands come behind you. Interlace the fingers, but do it in the awkward way this time, pressing the palms towards one another. See if you can press the knuckles towards the right heel and relax the muscles between the shoulder blades so the shoulder blades can come closer together. Keep looking forward for a moment. Now lift your chin high and breathe. 1 more breath. Now level the chin, release the hands, reach them high, and bring them down on either side of the left foot. Tuck the toes, bring the right knee off the mat, left foot steps back. Now flow through a vinyasa, either knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga dandasana. Upward facing dog this time. Knees come off the mat, the legs are straight. The navel and the heart are pressing forward, the shoulder blades coming together on the back. Now when you're ready, tuck your toes and lift your hips, downward facing dog. Press the hands into the mat, lots of length in the spine. 1 more breath. Good work, everybody. Bring the knees to the mat, bring the knees wide, big toes touch, child's pose. Let your forehead rest on the mat. Two more breaths in child's pose. Let the breath begin to lengthen. Feel the flowing in and flowing out of the breath, as well as the spaces between the inhale and the exhale. Now slowly rise to table pose. Bring the knees back so they're hip width apart. Tuck your toes and let your hips rise into downward facing dog. One more breath in downward dog. Now inhale, reach the right leg high, and then three-legged dog. Open the hips to the right. Work on stacking your right hip over your left hip. Lift that right knee up a little bit more if you can. And then level your hips off and a 3/4 step forward with the right foot. Spin the left heel to the mat and rise to warrior one, reaching the arms high. The right knee is bent. The left heel is on the mat. And now square up your hips to the front of the mat. If you like, you can bring your hands down to your hips and pull that left hip forward a little bit. Pull the right hip back until your hips are parallel to the front of the mat. Then bring the hands back up into warrior one. The right knee is still bent. Now straighten the right leg. Hinge at the hips and fold forward. Come halfway down. And then press into that right foot and rise. Whoops. Rise all the way back up. I didn't quite get there. Do that a second time. Reach the fingertips forward. Keep the spine long. Biceps stay on either side of the ears. Slowly rise all the way back up. Then bend the right knee back to warrior one. Now bring the hands down on either side of that right foot. Come up on fingertips and then straighten the right leg. Reach the crown of your head forward. Keep your gaze down. So try not to lift your chin up so that you're looking sort of at your heel. And then pull the right hip back a little bit more. This is pyramid pose. And if you are able to, you can bring your forehead down towards the shin or even the ankle of that right foot, deepening the stretch in the back of the right leg. Now bend the right knee. Bring the arms out to a T. Press into the right foot and rise. Come all the way up. Reach the arms high. Warrior one. Bring the hands down so that they're in front of the right foot. Come up onto the ball of the left foot. Step the right foot back to plank pose. Take a deep breath and let the breath go. Do that again, a big deep breath and let it go. Now center your right hand on the mat below your face. Spread the fingers wide. Roll over onto the pinky toe side of the right foot. Reach the left hand high. This is side plank. If you want, you can reach the left hand forward with the palm facing down. Maybe pick the right foot up. Now breathe. Reach with the foot and the hand. And then bring the foot back down. Bring the left hand down back to plank pose. Let's go over to the other side. Left hand is on the mat and centered. Roll over on the pinky toe side of the left foot. Reach with the right hand. Maybe pick that right foot up and point the toes on the right foot. Breathe. One more breath. Bring the foot down. Bring the right hand down. Now, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga as we vinyasa. Upward facing dog. One more breath. Now, toes tuck and hips rise into downward facing dog. Stretch it out. On an inhale, left leg rises. 3/4 step forward with the left foot. Bend the left knee. Bring the right heel to the mat. We're going to come up into warrior one. Left knee is bent, arms reaching high. Check in with your hips and your shoulders. If you like, bring your hands down to the hips. It's just a way of helping to square the hips to the front of the mat. Probably you're going to need to press your right hip forward a little bit and pull the left hip back, and then reach the arms back up. Warrior one. Keep the left knee bent. Stay anchored in the pinky toe of the right foot, and then slowly hinge at the hips. Reach forward with both hands, and then rise back up. Lots of core engagement as we do that. Let's do it a second time. Reaching forward, keeping the left knee bent, and then slowly rising all the way back up. This time, straighten the left leg. Hinge at the hips. Reach the fingertips forward, staying anchored in the pinky toe of that right foot. Bring the hands down all the way to the mat into pyramid pose. Pull that left hip back a little bit. And if you want, you can bring your forehead down towards the shin or the ankle of that left leg. Lots of sensation in the back of the left leg, maybe even into the knee, the back of the knee on that left side. Now bend the left knee. Arms come out to a T and slowly rise back up, pressing in the left foot, reach the arms high. And exhale the hands to heart center this time. Now bring the weight into the left foot, step the right foot forward. Now bring the feet so that the toes overhang the edges of your mat, then hinge at the hips. And come all the way down into a yoga squat. Elbows to the inside of the knees, pressing the knees apart from one another. A great stretch for the hips. We'd let gravity do a lot of the work here as we move into Malasana, our yoga squat. One more breath. Upper body nice and vertical if you can. Now bring the hands down behind you. Let's come to a seated position with the right leg crossed in front of the left leg. Then bring your hands down in front of the right shin. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Your thumbs are pointing towards one another, excuse me. Thumbs pointing towards one another. Now keep that right leg right where it is and step the left back as we come into pigeon pose. If it creates too much sensation in the outside of that right hip or in the right knee, you can bring the right heel back a little bit towards the pubic bone. This is pigeon pose. Let me show you the pose from the side. Now maybe scoot that left knee back a little bit more and rise up a little higher if you like. Lots of sensation in the outside of that right hip. Now come down to the elbows, bringing the elbows to the mat, the forearms come to the mat. You can bring your hands together if you want. You can cup one hand over the other, or you can press the palms into the mat and keep your forearms parallel to one another. Now tuck the toes and bring the left knee off the mat, and then step the right foot back into a dolphin plank pose. In dolphin plank, the elbows are on the mat right below the shoulders. The hips are aligned with the shoulders and heels. Take a breath. Now walk the feet forward into dolphin pose. Create about a 90-degree angle between your upper body and your lower body. In dolphin pose, press the elbows and forearms into the mat. Let your head drop down. Nice big stretch in the back of the legs. Now bring the knees to the mat. Then bring your hands under your shoulders into table pose. Then tuck your toes and lift your hips, finding downward facing dog. Stretch it out. 2 more breaths. Now begin to walk the feet forward. Come about to the midway part of your mat, and then bring the feet wide, toes overhanging the edges of the mat, and come to our second yoga squat with the elbows pressing to the inside of the knees. I'm giving you the side view here. Notice my upper body is relatively perpendicular to the mat, so pretty much up and down. Chin a nice level and neutral position. Now bring the hands down behind you. Come to a cross-legged position, this time with the left leg crossed in front of the right leg, and bring your hands down in front of that left shin. Spread the fingers wide. Keep the left leg where it is. Step the right leg back into pigeon pose. And see if you can bring the outside of that left hip or the left side of your butt down to the mat. Press the heart forward, let the ears rise up. Maybe scoot that right knee back just a little bit more. Let's rest in the sensation of the pose. I almost said this sensational pose, which of course it is. It's a really sensational pose. Just creates so much feeling in the body. The outside of that left hip on this side and the hip flexor muscles on the right side, as well as the upper body from the nice little back bend. And that's fine. Release now. Bring the elbows down. Tuck the toes. Bring the right knee off the mat. Left foot steps back. Dolphin plank pose. Second time here. And breathe. Now walk the feet forward into dolphin pose, letting your head drop down. Press the heels down towards the mat. The more you press the heels down, the more sensation you're going to feel in the back of the back of both legs, excuse me. Breathe one more time. Now bring the knees to the mat, come up onto the hands so the hands are below the shoulders. We're back to table pose. Now tuck your toes and let your hips rise into downward facing dog. On an inhale, reach the right leg high, three-legged dog, second time on this side. And then step the right foot all the way forward so it ends up between the hands. Spin your left heel to the mat, anchor into the pinky toe of the left foot, and rise to Warrior Two. In Warrior Two, flip the palms so they face up, relax the thumbs a little bit, then bring your gaze back over the left hand. That's different than we normally do. We're just changing it up a little bit. Now, left hand comes down, right hand reaches up and back. This is a reverse warrior pose. Now, straighten the right leg, reach up and back with the right hand, reverse triangle pose. Bring the arms to a T, palms facing down, reach the hands apart from one another, press into the left pinky toe, reach the right hand forward as we come into triangle pose. Reach the left hand high. One more breath in triangle pose. Now right knee bends, rise to Warrior Two. Let's find extended side angle pose. Reaching with the left hand. Relax the fingers on the left hand, relax that left thumb. Now let's find a half bind. Reach your left hand up and back and behind you. See if you can connect the left palm with the right thigh. Open the left shoulder and look up towards the sky. Keep pressing the right elbow into the knee. Release now from the bind. Reach the left hand high into extended side angle pose. And then bring the left hand down. Right hand comes down, come up onto the ball of the left foot. We're to runner's lunge now. Step the right foot back to plank pose. Now vinyasa, either knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga dandasana, upward facing dog. When you're ready, downward facing dog. Stretch it out. On an inhale, left leg rises, three-legged dog, opening the hips to the left, reaching the left knee up nice and high. We're going to hold this for 2 more counts because we did it twice on the other side. So we'll do it the equivalent of twice on the left side now. Now level your hips. Step your left foot forward so the left foot comes between the hands. Spin the right heel to the mat, anchor into the right pinky toe with the left knee bent, rise to Warrior Two. Flip the palms so they face up. Relax the hands a little bit. Bring your gaze over the right hand so you're looking towards the back of the pose. Now drop the right hand down, keep the left knee bent. Reach up and back with the left hand. That left knee is still bent. Don't straighten it yet. This is a reverse warrior pose. Now straighten the left leg. Now reach up and back with the left hand into a reverse triangle pose. And then the arms come out to a T. Both legs are still straight. Stay anchored in that right pinky toe. Reach the left hand forward and then bring it down. As we come into Trikonasana, triangle pose. Reach the right hand high. Breathe. Try and lengthen your spine a little bit, reaching your head forward, but keeping the chin in a nice neutral position. Now, bend the left knee. Bring the right hand down. Oops, I forgot to do our our half bind. Let's come back up to warrior two. And extended side angle pose. Wouldn't want to miss that. Press into that right foot, reach with the right hand. Now the half bind, reach the right hand up, bring it behind you, connect the right palm with the left thigh, open the right shoulder, look up towards the sky. If you straighten your left leg, bend it. So up to 90-degree bend in that left leg. Now release from the bind and bring the right hand down. Left hand comes down. Step the left foot back to plank pose. Take a breath. Now flow through our final vinyasa, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, upward facing dog. 2 or 3 breaths here. Just enjoy the flow of the breath, bringing awareness to the spaces between the inhale and exhale. And then finish by bringing your knees to the mat and press back towards child's pose. Let your forehead come down. Let your forehead rest on the mat. Rise now to table pose. And then let your hips come to your heels. I'm going to turn around so you can see this from the side. We're going to do camel pose now. So most of the time, we get into camel pose by coming all the way up so that the hips are over the heels and the shoulders are over the hips. I want to give you the option this time of coming into camel pose from hips on heels. So bring your hands to your heels and then lift the hips and let your head drop down. Just an alternate way to come into camel pose. Let your head drop down, press your hips forward. See, my hips are pretty much over my knees, and breathe. It's a deep, deep back bend. One more breath with awareness to the spaces between the inhale and the exhale. Now slowly come back down, letting the hips drop to the heels. Bring your palms to your thighs in hero pose. Good work, everybody. Now come to a seated position and bring the legs out in front of you. Reach the arms up and overhead. And as you exhale, fold forward, keeping the spine long, letting the forehead come down towards the shins or the knees. You can get a hold of the feet if you like and pull your upper body towards the feet. Notice the sensations that probably creates in the back of both legs. Now, chin on chest, round the spine as you come up. And as you exhale, bend the knees. Bring peace fingers to big toes. I'll move to the side for this. Peace fingers to big toes. This can be heron pose. Straighten the legs. Point your toes if you can. And see if you can bring your shins closer to your chest. Keep the spine nice and long. The chest is rising in the pose. So this pose combines balance and a stretch in the back of the legs. If you like, you can bend your elbows a little bit, lifting the feet up even higher, bringing the thighs closer to the chest. Now bend the knees. Soles of the feet come together. Cup your hands on the outside of the feet. Let your heels come close to your pubic bone. Keep the spine nice and long. This is a floating cobbler pose. Then bring the heels down to the mat. Bring your knees together, soles of the feet to the mat, and just roll down onto your back. Once you're on your back, reach your heels to the sky, and let's find legs up the wall pose. Remember, legs up the wall pose, the hands are on the pinky toe side of the feet, and the soles are facing towards the sky. Kind of funny to talk about soles facing, but that's really what I mean. The soles are reaching up. They're parallel to the sky above you. Relax the back of the shoulders. Chin in a nice neutral position. Try not to lift the chin up. Release the hands now. Reach the heels to the sky, legs up the wall pose. Palms come down to the mat. Arms are straight and hands are by your side. Now bend the knees and eventually bring the soles of the feet to the mat. We're going to move into a bridge pose. Touch your heels with your fingertips to confirm that your feet are in a proper position for bridge pose. And when you're ready, press your feet into the mat and lift your hips. Now see if you can lift your hips up even higher. Interlace your fingers behind your back and maybe draw your shoulder blades together so you can create a nice, beautiful, deep back bend. 2 more breaths. Stay aware of the inhale and exhale and the spaces between. And 1 more breath. Maybe lift your hips a little higher. Find a deeper back bend. Moving more deeply into the pose. And that's it. Release your hands. Bring your tailbone down. Now keep the back of your head on the mat, but hug your knees into your chest, lifting your tailbone off the mat. Now, if you want to, bring your forehead towards your knees, rounding your spine. And then release the head to the mat. Reach the heels to the sky and bring your arms out to a T with the palms facing down. Keep your legs straight if you're able to, and then let the legs move all the way over to the right and land. Now your gaze is to the left in this twist. This is a supine spinal twist. Now take a deep breath in. And just let it go. Relax. Do that again. A big deep breath. Just let everything start to go. Now press into the right hand and lift the legs all the way back up, keeping the feet together and the legs straight. And then let the legs travel over to the left side and land. Your gaze is going to be to the right this time. Relax the back of that right shoulder so it rests on the mat. Now take a deep breath in. And let it go. Do that again. Feel all the tension draining out of your body on the exhale. Now press in the left hand. Legs come all the way back up. Now bring the hands down by your side, palms facing down. Point the toes and slowly keep your legs together. Keep the legs straight and slowly let your heels float down to the mat. Bring your awareness to your abdominal muscles. Notice how as the heels get closer to the mat, the abdominal engagement travels down towards the pubic bone. Take a couple more breaths and eventually let the heels land. Once the heels land, find Shavasana. Flip your palms, let your toes flop out. Let your breath find its natural rhythm. And the eyes, of course, are closed down. See if you can allow your intention in Shavasana be to completely let go. To find that space of surrender, that space of letting go. Where there is no more need for movement. There is no more need for effort. Where you can completely let go of all of those needs and instead find a place of softness. Stay aware of your breath and follow the breath flowing in and flowing out. Now become aware not just of the inhale and exhale, but of the spaces between the inhale and exhale, and of the exhale and inhale. Becoming deeply aware of the 4 different parts of breath. Keep as much attention on the spaces between the inhale and exhale as you do on the inhale and exhale themselves. And if you like, you can hold the breath in after the inhale, hold the breath out after the exhale. That's optional, just if it feels like something that is natural. It's a way of bringing awareness to the whole cycle of breath, becoming more and more intimately acquainted with the breath and with the energy that the breath brings, the prana, the life force. Stay with the breath. Begin now to allow your breath to lengthen so that you're breathing more deeply, but do it without strain. So just let the breath be natural and calm. Now release your awareness from your breath and slowly begin to bend your knees. As you bend your knees, roll over onto your side and cradle your head in your arm. Pause there and just allow yourself to experience this posture, resting on your side with your knees bent and your head cradled in your arm. And now, with the eyes still gently closed, come to a seat. Once you're seated, bring your hands together at heart center in Anjali Mudra. Draw a deep breath in and let it go. And one more time like that, a deep breath in and let everything go with the exhale. Thank you so much for joining us to practice today. I offer you, as I always do, loving kindness. May you be happy and well, and may you be safe. May you be peaceful, and may you be at ease. Namaste.